10 surprising animals that can't swim. Welcome to today's fascinating journey into the animal kingdom, where we'll explore a topic that's bound to surprise and intrigue you. 10 animals that can't swim. While it's easy to assume that animals near water are natural swimmers, the truth is quite different. In fact, some species living right next to lakes, rivers, and oceans have completely adapted to life without ever taking a dip. Why is this the case? What keeps them out of the water? And how do they survive in such close proximity to aquatic environments? Let's find out. Swimming plays a vital role in the natural world. For many animals, it's about survival. Swimming helps them escape predators, find food, move from one habitat to another, and sometimes even attract mates. From fish gliding through the depths of the ocean to mammals like dolphins and seals that seem practically designed for water, we've come to see swimming as a universal skill among animals. However, evolution and anatomy tell a different story. Swimming isn't an option for some members of the animal kingdom. Whether due to unique body structures, dense muscle composition, or behavioral instincts, some creatures simply cannot stay afloat. And yet, these non-swimming animals have found astonishing ways to thrive and adapt. Swimming depends on a few crucial factors: body design, buoyancy, and the ability to coordinate movement in water. Most swimming animals have bodies that help displace water, wide limbs or fins to propel them forward, or the instinct to dog paddle. For some species, though, their anatomy works against them. Heavy bodies, short limbs, or high muscle density often prevent them from staying afloat. This inability to swim often corresponds with their evolutionary history. Long ago, some animals adapted to dry land environments and lost the physical traits or instincts necessary for swimming. Others evolved behaviors to avoid water entirely, eliminating the need to develop swimming abilities altogether. Think about all the animals you imagine swimming comfortably: horses, elephants, or perhaps kangaroos. Many of us assume that living near water automatically equips animals with swimming skills. Popular culture often reinforces this idea. We've all seen artwork or cartoons showing elephants frolicking in rivers or desert animals lounging by an oasis. But appearances can be deceiving, as you'll see in this list. Get ready to rethink what you know, because some of the animals on this list will truly surprise you. First on our list is the iconic giraffe. These gentle giants might seem like they'd be able to wade gracefully through rivers, thanks to their long legs. However, their towering height and long, awkward necks actually work against them in the water. Swimming requires a coordination of limb movement and buoyancy, and giraffes simply aren't designed for it. Their high center of gravity makes it almost impossible for them to stay balanced or keep their heads above water. Instead, giraffes have evolved to live in dry savannas, relying on their height to spot predators from afar. Interestingly, some studies suggest that giraffes could technically swim in rare circumstances, but they're much more likely to avoid deeper water entirely. Next on the list might be a surprise for many: bats. Wait, a flying mammal that can't swim? Actually, bats are not strong swimmers and are poorly adapted for life in water. Their wings, designed for flight, are too delicate and inefficient for paddling, leaving them struggling to move if they end up in water. While some species can manage short distances in emergencies, bats tire quickly and are vulnerable when wet. They rely on their agility in the air rather than any aquatic ability. These adaptations make them masters of the skies, but swimming is one skill they leave to other creatures. Our next entry is closely related to us: the gorilla. Despite sharing a lot of traits with humans, many gorillas cannot swim. Their dense muscles and heavy bodies mean they sink almost immediately when entering water. While humans learn to swim as a skill, it's rare for gorillas to develop the same capacity due to their limited need for water navigation in their habitats. To stay safe, gorillas tend to stay on land and use other methods like climbing trees or crossing shallow rivers to get around. In captivity, gorillas are sometimes introduced to water for enrichment purposes, but even then, true swimming remains outside their range of abilities. Camels are famously known as ships of the desert, but these desert specialists are surprisingly inept swimmers. Built for arid environments, camels have long legs that are great for walking across dunes, but less effective in water. Their heavy, hump-laden bodies also make them prone to sinking. Their lack of a need for water-based movement stems from where they evolved. Camels can go for days without water, relying on their fat reserves to sustain them. Swimming simply isn't something their evolution prioritized, despite their reliance on water when it's available. Tortoises may live close to water sources, but they lack the ability to swim. Unlike their aquatic relatives, tortoises have heavy, dome-shaped shells that are not buoyant. Their stubby legs prevent effective paddling, making water a dangerous environment for them. Many tortoises spend their lives in arid or terrestrial ecosystems where the ability to swim has no advantage. Instead, they rely on burrowing and navigating dry ground to stay safe or find resources. Known for their armor-like shells, armadillos are another surprising addition to the non-swimmers list. While some species can float briefly by inflating their stomachs with air, others are prone to sinking. These animals rely on burrowing and dry land navigation rather than aquatic abilities. In their habitats, armadillos often use rivers and streams as a water source, but they avoid deeper areas to mitigate the risk of drowning. The mighty ostrich, the largest bird in the world, also lands a spot on this list. These flightless birds are built for running, with powerful legs that allow them to sprint at speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. However, their heavy bodies and lack of wings make swimming nearly impossible. In the rare event an ostrich encounters water, it relies on wading or avoiding it altogether. Their adaptations, from their speed to their excellent vision, help them survive in the dry, open plains where they thrive. Despite spending nearly all their time in water, hippos cannot swim. Their bulky bodies and thick limbs make conventional swimming impossible. Instead, hippos walk or run along the riverbed, sinking to the bottom of the water. Their dense bodies and physical adaptations allow them to stay submerged while breathing through their nostrils above the surface. This unique strategy helps them cool off during hot days and avoid land predators while still relying on water for survival. Sloths are another unexpected addition. These slow-moving creatures are perfectly adapted to life in the trees, but they struggle in water. Their long arms are designed for climbing, not paddling. While they can float and survive brief swims across small rivers, sloths generally avoid water as much as possible. Living in rainforest canopies, sloths spend most of their time resting in trees. Water simply doesn't factor into their survival adaptations, making swimming a skill they rarely need. Rounding out our list is the lovable koala. Native to Australia, koalas spend nearly all their lives in eucalyptus trees, munching on leaves and avoiding the ground whenever possible. They aren't suited for swimming due to their stocky builds and short limbs. Like sloths, koalas only encounter water in rare situations, and their survival doesn't depend on swimming ability. Koalas manage to stay hydrated thanks to the moisture content in the eucalyptus leaves, further reducing their exposure to water bodies. Each animal on this list has evolved in environments that simply don't require swimming as a skill. Instead, they've developed alternative survival strategies like climbing, running, or burrowing. These adaptations highlight the incredible diversity and resourcefulness of life on Earth. The inability to swim doesn't hinder these animals. It only emphasizes their unique traits and the incredible ways evolution tailors creatures to their environments. Understanding these limitations helps us break misconceptions and better appreciate how different species adapt to their surroundings. And there you have it, 10 surprising animals that can't swim, despite what we might assume about their lives near water. From giraffes to penguins and koalas, these species prove that nature always finds a way. Which animal surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more educational and fascinating animal content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure in the animal kingdom.